Hey, this is Michael Chin with episode 7 of the Live Scalping series. It is Friday, February 9th, 2020, and we're here with a 2000 tick chart of the S&P 500 futures. I am a part-time price action trader with a full-time job, looking to share my live trades with you and help you become a more successful day trader. So the markets have opened now, and it is about 7:20 a.m. Pacific time, and in the pre-market session, we can see that prices were in a steep downtrend. And now the first thing we see in the open is that prices are looking to make a pullback. And so we have already made the first leg of the pullback here. And now I am just looking for that second leg of the pullback to start to sell and look for this trend to continue down lower. So now prices have started to indicate that the two-legged pullback is going to happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my sell order ready below this bar in case prices break through it, which would indicate that the two-legged pullback has been confirmed. So if we look at the pattern here, we can see that there is the first leg here, and then now the second leg has formed as we break below this bar. So I have a stop order here because if a lot of sellers do see this pattern as well and they come in and trade it, prices could quickly move down and I might miss the entry. Now, it hasn't rushed down, which means that it's probably not as strong as I thought it was, but the pattern is still in effect. So we will see if we can break through to this 1-point scalp or if we will take out my stop order. Now, I am a scalp trader, not a swing trader. So even though I do assume that the trend will continue lower, my actual setup is only trading this 1-point scalp. And the 1-point scalp is one of the most highly profitable scalpers target in the S&P 500 futures. And 1 point in the S&P 500 futures is equal to $50. So right now I am trading 3 contracts to the scalping side. So that's going to earn me about $150 on this trade minus some commissions. Now, an interesting thing we do see here is that prices actually made a 1 tick higher. And so if you know how I like to trade, I actually like to trade some of these two-legged pullback traps. So like when there is a two-legged pullback, but then it starts to fail, I like to buy above it. But in this case, this two-legged pullback is pretty strong. The trend has been bearish the whole time, and so when we do get this first two-legged pullback, it's going to be a great opportunity to sell. So when traders try to trap us here, right, I would come in and I would try and trap all of the people who sold this two-legged pullback, such as me myself. But since this setup is actually pretty strong, the trappers won't be able to actually break through our stop loss up here at 334.5. And actually what's going to happen is we're going to cause a double top up here, which is pretty heavy resistance. So I have another sell order here. So when we break below this bar, more smart traders are going to come in. So if the sellers didn't trade on this first entry like I did, they are for sure going to sell on this second entry right here and help prices move down further. And what's also going to happen is if you did have a lot of buyers, so let's say there were some smart traders down here who bought and some smart traders down here who bought, when they do see this double top up here, they are also going to cover and exit their positions, which is going to help us move prices down further. Prices have been grinding here for about a minute or so now, and while it is stressful to sit in this trade, oh, there we go. So we got our, so we just hit both of them right there. We got our 2 wins for the day. So now we are 2-0, but you know, prices do grind a lot, and these trades aren't going to be instantaneous. Sometimes they are, sometimes they happen within 3 to 4 seconds, but other times they do take a minute or 2 to resolve. But the one thing you have to remember is that as long as you're reading the price action correctly and you are taking the correct setups, then you are for sure guaranteed that 95% win rate on these trades. So even though it does look scary when prices are starting to struggle and they do bob up and down, you know that these setups are 95% win rates. So there is nothing really to be afraid of. Now, it looks like our runners are getting kicked out here. I would have loved for prices to have continued down lower and to just sync with these 2 runners and make us a ton of money. But unfortunately, that didn't happen here. So now let's see where the next trade is going to set up. So it's been about 30 minutes since my last trade, and I am still looking for prices to resolve to the downside. And what I'm about to see here is I do see that there is a lot of resistance up here. So as you can see, there's about 3 touches up here, which is about a triple top, which is pretty strong resistance. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put a sell stop right below this bar. And if prices were to just tank down through it, well, that would be some huge selling pressure and I would want to be entered. So I have my sell stop ready for that. Now, what I do see here is that the bar actually completed its formation, so I'm going to move the sell stop to right below it and get filled immediately when prices break through it, right? This is a very big bearish bar, which means there is a ton of selling pressure coming off of this triple top, and triple tops are huge areas of resistance, and so I could at least expect a 1-point scalp, or for this trend to continue down even lower, which, you know, I would love. That would be fantastic. So it looks like we are getting this trade down pretty quickly. It is resolving down just as I would have imagined. You know, with a big bearish bar like this, you are going to see a lot of selling pressure, so the follow through on it is going to be pretty climactic. And there we go. So we did break through that and we got our 1-point scalp. So we are now 3-0 for the day, which I am very, oh wow, this thing is really coming down. So with, you know, this big selling pressure, you're definitely going to see some big follow through there. But the one thing that I am a little afraid of is you can also see that, sure, there is a lot of resistance up here, but there also is a lot of support down here. So with my runner, I am going to move it down a bit just in, oh, so there we go. So I moved it down just in case things would bounce here, and that's exactly what they did. So at 3-0 up for the day, we are up $500 now, and it's only been about an hour since the market opened, which is awesome. I'm going to look for a fourth trade. I like to have a 4-0 record every day. If I can do that, then I am comfortably bringing in around $450 to $600 a day, which I am very happy with before I move on to my full-time job at around 9 a.m. Okay, let's see where the next trade sets up. All right, it's been about 20 minutes now, and if you have seen some of my other videos, one of my favorite trades is about to resolve here. I'm sure you can already guess it based on what you see here and what my order is doing, but what we do see is that there is a two-legged pullback here, and so what you would expect, right, as I always like to advocate, prices will continue their downtrend if there's a two-legged pullback, but in this case the trend is not as strong, and so what I'm looking for is I'm looking for that two-legged pullback trap, and these are the best trades to take because they resolve so quickly, as all of the traders that try to sell here are in a ton of pain as prices are reversing here. They are scrambling out of their positions and they're trying to run for the hills, and so there we go. Within like 3 seconds we already got our 1-point scalp, and now we are looking for this runner to go up higher. So I will review it one more time for you, but I know a lot of people have seen some of my other videos, so you guys already know a lot about this trap. But basically, I love two-legged pullbacks, and they will usually always continue a trend, but you can't just take them blindly, right? The trend has to agree with you, and in this case, the trend is not telling us with conviction that prices are going to continue down lower. So when they do reverse here, all of the new traders who came in aggressively and tried to sell this, expecting prices to go lower, well, they got trapped the moment prices reversed on them. So they immediately sold and covered their positions and helped us get our 1-point scalp. So with that, we are now 4-0 for the day, and I am satisfied. It is about 8:21 a.m. and now we just have a runner, and we are going to see how high this runner can go. So it's been about 20 minutes now, and as you can see, our runner did put in a high of 6 points up here, which is $300, and I decided not to take it. But actually, I wasn't even at the computer screen this time. I just let my runner sit at break even, and then I went off to go make breakfast and get changed and get ready for work, because it is about 8:30 a.m. and I got to head to the office in around 30 minutes. So I kind of was just praying that, you know, maybe prices could shoot up, then they can make some kind of pullback, and then we could just continue on higher, and then, you know, maybe I could just like quickly log in at work and see if I could close it out for a big profit. But nope, we did get taken out for break even here, which does kind of suck. But runners are one of those things where you really get to decide how you want to manage it. You know, you can go for those 50-point runners, or you can just take a nice consistent 6-point runner every now and then, and that's really amazing, because if you think about it, 6 points is $300, and so on the scalp I made $150. So if I were to get that $300 extra, that's like scalping 3 times instead of 1 time. But it's okay. This time I got taken out for break even, but who knows? Maybe next time I will get those 50 points. So this is going to wrap up the video. I am 4-0 for the day. Very happy with that, but it is time to go to work, and I have made $650, which I can take and be satisfied about. And that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a lot from it. If you have any further questions, please feel free to comment below and I'll be happy to help you. And remember, this is a video series, so if you want to follow along, please be sure to subscribe to my channel to get the latest updates. All right, I'll see you at the next video, guys. Happy trading.